Meet the Nevada Hot Dice X-Men. Martin, McDaniel, Weber. They'll match up against the Texas Rustlers G-Force. Gallagher, Gleddy, Gamble. In the first ever Wild West Shootout, Dice Captain Mark Weber may be overconfident.
To all my fans of Vegas, we are going to win this Wild West Shootout.
While the Rustlers are riding high.
This ain't the same Texas Rustlers that skated last year.
And the women are ready to battle. The Dice showgirls have been strutting their stuff. And Rustler Lindsey Francis has shown a new side. The Wild West Shootout is next on Rollerjam. Welcome to Rollerjam and the World Skating League from the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rory Marcus along with Lee Hawk Rearman. And tonight, Game 1 of the Wild West Shootout, and wild it should be as the Nevada Hot Dice go Hawk against the Texas Rustlers.
Absolutely. This is 6 teams, double elimination. Winner take all, losers go home. And Mark Weber, the X-Man of the Nevada Hot Dice, has all but actually he has guaranteed victory for his Nevada Hot Dice.
So he becomes the Joe Namath of the World Skating League. This is one of the brainchilds of Kenneth Logue, the new general manager in this league. He's with Broadway Danny Wolf. Danny?
All right, we're just minutes away from the Wild West Shootout Kickoff. I'm with Kenneth Logue III, of course. You know him by now. You've got to be very happy at that crowd out there. Huge attendance tonight.
I'm very excited about this tournament, Daniel. As you said, the crowds are great. The skaters are very excited. I think we can look forward to some outstanding Rollerjam.
Now, also, you said you have some information you'd like to share on the Mark D'Amato boycott situation. Lay it on us.
Well, let me put it this way, Daniel. The judge in the case and I were classmates at Harvard Law School. I don't think we have anything to worry about.
You know, sometimes talking to you, and especially hearing that announcement, only one word comes to mind. That's collusion. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
I guess it's appropriate. The Texas Rustlers will be one of the big teams in this Wild West Shootout. They are so much improved over last year, not the least of which is Lindsey Francis, now known as the Golden Girl. But the Hot Dice are tough as well.
Well, the Hot Dice are spectacular. And again, Mark Weber's guaranteed victory. We know he models himself after Sean Atkinson. Let's see if he can back up what he says.
We'll find out, Hawk, as the skaters get ready to take to the track. Here come the Texas Rustlers, riding their high horse out onto the bank track here as we get ready to start Rollerjam. And the women are the first on the track. What an entrance they like to make, huh? We always wait for Lindsey Francis because, well, she's the Golden Girl after all.
Well, she sure is something to look at, but these Texas Rustlers from top to bottom are a much improved, not only team, of course, physically with the new personnel, but the attitude, Rory. These guys last year were embarrassed. This year, they're embarrassing other teams.
Well, they have a little confidence, not the least of which goes with having the G-Force on their side on the men's side. And they've been tough, Hawk. They've been tough to get by and a very difficult team to try and compete against.
Well, last year, Brian Gamble, there's a good look at him. He was a New York enforcer. He brings some of that 5-borough lineup to this Texas Rustler team, and it's contagious.
Just like a team from Texas ought to be. They're tough out there. But now, coming onto the track, you could call them the home team here in Las Vegas, the Nevada Hot Dice onto the track. Here come the women first, and now we get the outfits. Shay Brown throws a little kiss as the showgirls get set to strut their stuff.
Well, I tell you, Kim Hart started this for the Hot Dice. The Heartbreaker, she started it. Now she's joined by Weintraub and Shay Brown. But Kim Hart, the Heartbreaker, the abs of steel, the buns of stone. Something to look at, isn't she, Rory? And get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the signature move. They call them the Showgirls, and they call this the Showgirl Sizzle.
Let's take a look and let you know what the rules of Rollerjam really are. There are 4 6-minute periods. The women skate periods 1 and 3. The men skate periods 2 and 4. There are 5 skaters per team, 2 jammers and 3 blockers. The blockers wear white helmets. The jammers have the black helmet with the stripe. Points are scored when jammers lap opposing team members. Here's an example of what I was just talking about. The jammer for the green team breaks out from the pack and circles the track. For each member of the red team that he or she passes, 1 point is earned.
Well, the rules are simple, but watching what goes on now is kind of difficult because nobody wears the uniforms they're supposed to, Rory. But the key matchups today have to be Kim Hart, the Heartbreaker. She's the leader of the Showgirls versus the Golden Girl, Lindsey Francis, with those blonde locks all over the track. Both these guys have big attitude, but they back it up with big play, too.
And the great thing is we get to see them right off the bat because the women are on the track to start period number 1 in this roller jam between the Hot Dice and the Texas Rustlers. Let's see who can get on the scoreboard first. And right away, out of the jam for the Hot Dice, Shay Brown, along with Kim Hart, the Heartbreaker. But for the Texas Rustlers, and they have proven themselves to be a pretty good team this year, Laura Heiser, and now Laura Heiser gets taken down. And Lindsey Francis is out there for the Rustlers, and down she goes.
Well, the Showgirls sizzle are the Showgirls who do the sizzle, making their presence known bright and early, Rory.
There's a lot of Showgirls in this town, but these are 2 of the best. And they're going to score early in this game. Did they call it off? There's still 15 seconds left in the jam. And now coming up, Shay Brown trying to get some more. Now she does call it off. Shay Brown called it off, but it's a good start for the Showgirls. And the Hot Dice pick up a couple of points. They get 2. They're ahead 2-0, and it looks like the Rustlers might have an injury, Huck.
Well, it's a good start for the Hot Dice, and on the other side of the track, this could be a devastating blow for the Texas Rustlers. Talisa Miller going down at the hands of Kim Hart and Shay Brown right into that upright. I'll tell you what, Rory, what a blow to the Texas Rustlers off to such a fantastic start if Talisa Miller is out.
Looked like that knee went right into the upright. And here we go. The black helmeted jammers get out there and try and pass the rest of the pack. That's how you score points. And it doesn't hurt if you have tremendous skaters like the Rustlers do. Number 46 is Lindsey Francis.
And here comes Laura Weintraub. On the last jam, we saw 2 of her Showgirl brethren, so to speak, with Kim Hart and Shay Brown. Well, Laura Weintraub, not out to be outdone, says, hey, I got one of these good-looking outfits on. I'm going to show a little bit of my stuff. Hey, all three of us can sizzle.
Boy, they are sizzling, too. And, oh, my, up over the rail. They're getting rid of some Rustlers, one after another. The Hot Dice have come out in front of their home crowd. Showgirls are not. They're skating this game hard.
Well, and Katie Cooper was doing all the blocking up front. As you get a look at Carrie Johnston, we're not sure if Talisa Miller, Teague Miller will be able to return. If her and Carrie Johnston are both out, I'll tell you what, these Texas Rustlers will have lived a short life of their newfound success from that last victory, Rory.
They're already behind 5-0 as we take a break. We'll be right back to Las Vegas. But trying to take care of that a little bit for the Rustlers is number 48, Teague Miller. So it didn't take long for her to say, let me back on that track.
Well, that's got to be great news for the Texas Rustlers. We talked about her being a great blocker, but more importantly, she is the spiritual, she's the captain instead of Teague Miller. And you saw a little bit of that right there as she takes down the newly clad Kim Hart of the Showgirls.
And now Teague Miller comes up and she gets 1. She gets 2. As she goes by one of the Showgirls, and another one, that's 3. Laura Weintraub has passed. Shay Brown has passed. I think she picked up 3 points as the jam comes to an end. But that's a shot in the arm the Rustlers needed.
Well, they call it the Showgirl sizzle. Teague Miller, bless her heart, it looks like she still might be smarting, but she had enough left. I think we're going to have to call that the Showgirls. What are we going to call it? I don't know.
I'll tell you what I call it, leadership. When they needed points, Teague Miller shook off the injury to her leg and got out there and got him on the scoreboard. And it's 5-3 now. She's still hurting. But she came through for her team in a big way. And now the final jam of the first period is underway for the girls. And a big whip goes out for the Hot Dice. The Hot Dice and the Rustlers in a tough battle here early in this game.
Well, and finally, we have 2 players who actually have numbers on them. That's Laura Heiser and Mindy Smith, 2 of the fastest young ladies in the world skating league. And Mindy Smith adds a little bit of power to that speed as she sends Laura Heiser down to the track, Rory.
And now she's out there all by herself, the only jammer right now in a position to score some points. But look who's waiting for her back there with the Texas Rustlers. That's Carrie Johnston. And Kerry Johnston now is going to face a couple of Nevada Hot Dice. Katie Cooper comes back to assist. And oh, you talk about an assist. What a point for the Hot Dice.
No score! Too many skaters on the track!
You might have been able to hear referee Sean Corbin right there. He takes the point away. Too many skaters on the track. They had 6. No scoring on that jam.
Well, one thing you can do for yourself, Rory, is get enough people out there to play, but of course you can't get too many.
One off, White!
I think if we can count them right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're absolutely right. The Nevada Hot Dice not doing themselves a favor by having too many players out there.
You might be able to take a 10-second break if you're a baseball player, but if you're in the roller jam, baby, you better be aware every second. And they do get one more jam in. They'll be able to complete the jam even though the period will end, and the showgirl sizzle is out there again for the Nevada Hot Dice. With that silver Jammers helmet, that is Laura Weintraub.
Actually, that's Kim Hart out there.
That is Kim Hart, isn't it?
As a jammer. I think she wants to rename this the World Sizzle League. Or maybe the World Sequin League at the rate we're going, Rory.
Well, I don't know what Kenneth Logue thinks of this, but it seems like every team now has 2 or 3 skaters not in a regulation uniform. We'll find out, I'm sure, a little bit later on what Kenneth Logue thinks of this. And sneaking by on the inside, Lindsey Francis is getting down there like a horse going through on the rail for the Texas Rustlers. She picks up a couple of good points. And between Lindsey Francis and Laura Heiser, they get 3 Rustler points, and Texas is actually taking the lead, Hawks, 6-5.
Well, you see some of the frustration on the face of Kim Hart, the Heartbreaker, and she manifests it with a nice little elbow to one of the Rustlers.
The men are next in period number 2. Jason McDaniel, the speed skating hero for the Hot Dice, going against Brian Gallagher. Those are the 2 guys you can expect to see score points when we come back.
This game ain't for babies. It's back and badder than ever. TNN Rollerjam. Will Zone Friday. An all-new season of team warfare. Get into the ring. Get into the zone. Mayhem on wheels. Paves on blades. Slamming, cramming, ramming, and jamming. If you're not watching, then you're not with it. Everybody's doing the jam. Rollerjam. Friday at 9, 8 Central. Part of Thrill Zone Friday. Will Zone Friday. On TNN.
Welcome back from the MGM Grand Garden. It's 6-5 Rustlers, and Danny Wolf is trackside with Mark Webber.
All right, the Wild West Shootout is underway. I'm here with the Jimmy the Greek of the World Skating League, Mark Webber. You said you wanted airtime, you wanted mic time, you wanted to reiterate your prediction you made last time.
You know, like I said, told you before, Danny, I predict that we are going to win this shootout. I'm going to win the shootout. I guarantee it. There's no doubt about it.
And how about this retirement tour? What's that all about?
I'm out here to start a new generation, you know. I'm taking around all these old people like Sean Atkinson, Mark D'Amato, Richard Brown. They're going to Shady Acres, you know. They shouldn't be in here at all.
What, are you going to send them to the rocking chairs?
Beyond the rocking chairs, baby, they're going to go into the ground.
And really quickly, how about the Texas Rustlers? Anyone from that team you want to retire?
I don't need to retire them. They suck anyways, don't they?
Well, 2 players that hopefully won't suck today because our graphic is mapping them as the key matchup are Jason McDaniel of the Hot Dice. He's fast, he's furious, and Brian Gallagher. He's fast, but he's also a pretty big guy. Watch for him to pack a lot of physical power to go with his strength here, Rory. These 2 guys, they're young, they're the new breed here in the World Skating League, and all they bring is nothing less than a mountain of excitement.
All right, and here we go into the second period. First period on the track for the men, and right away Marcus Abrera gets out there for the Texas Rustlers against Jason McDaniel, a very fast, quick skater who puts the hip check into Abrera, and they both go over the rail, but they both get up and recover, and here they go, McDaniel and Abrera.
And Jason McDaniel, get a good view of his skating style. He had a broken collarbone early last year, Rory. Really hampered him. He came out like gangbusters late in the season, but look at the way he moves around and makes up that pace on the pack.
Now he's going to have to try and get through a double block. Marcus Abrera trying to catch up from behind, and now he does catch up, but not for long. Jason McDaniel takes him out of the play. The Hot Dice left.
Superman, Mark Webber. He stole it from Sean Atkinson of the California Quakes. Adds a little flex appeal to it. Mark Webber, unbelievable. He took out 2 of the G-Force as Kim Hart, the showgirl sizzle. It's been all X-Men and all showgirls so far here, Rory.
Maybe Mark Webber wants to retire Atkinson so he can use all his moves. He sure has them down.
Well, they call him Jimmy the Greek for all his prognosticating. He says they will win this Wild West shootout. Well, he gives a Superman effort. You see him vertical, you see him happy, you see him celebrating. But the G-Men saw it up close and personal. Mark Webber is a physical specimen here in the World Skating League.
The Hot Dice have the lead back at 7-6. This one's been tight throughout the first half.
The only thing he didn't steal from Sean Atkinson was the "Oh Daddy" there at the end of that one.
So far, he hasn't stolen Denise Loden either, I don't think.
Oh, that's a low one, brother. You had to go there, my friend.
Brian Gallagher's out there with Christian and Salvia, and right now, getting the better of that little exchange was Brian Gallagher of the Texas Rustlers.
Well, Brian Gallagher, we talked about the last time out, these Rustlers have emerged as no longer the weak link here in the World Skating League. Brian Gallagher is a big part of that. His speed to go along with the G-Force blocking. Great job here for the Rustlers right now.
And look at big number 39 back to block. That's Sean Davison. He's so big, his number's bigger than everybody else. But he's going to go down anyway. One Texas point awarded there. The Rustlers get 1 point, and they tie the game up 7-7. Well, the Hot Dice have a couple of injured players down there in the infield.
Well, and one reason why they only got a point is big Sean Davison. These guys have brought him in from Southern California. Good shot of number 39. He's a big son of a gun. A little bit untested, but with size like that, guys like Tim Washington, Sean Atkinson, even a Mark D'Amato, heaven forbid, they got somebody to wrestle with big number 39. Look at the size of that guy, Rory.
Yeah, everything's big about him, including his number. It's bigger than any other number on any other jersey.
Well, they save so much material in all the women's uniforms.
That's right. They've got a lot of material laying around down there they can use. And Jason McDaniel's back out again, along with Craig Fisher. As this game is tied up 7-7, the men are going at it, trying to get a lead to go into the locker room at halftime.
Well, Craig Fisher.
Infield he goes. Wow, that has to hurt. He flew off the track.
And I was about to say, you remember Craig Fisher the last time out for these Rustlers brought home the game-winning points. Well, right there you saw him take out some of our lighting. He thinks he owns the World Skating League.
Jason McDaniel now reaches the back of the pack, and waiting for him there is Brian Gamble, one of the G-Force for the Rustlers. And the G-Force has been in effect so far this season. They're a much better team. Look at Gamble. He takes the jammer out, and he's ready to celebrate as McDaniel goes down, and he stays on the track.
And squaring off right here is a marquee matchup, and for camera guys can get over here, Brian Gamble, the leader of G-Force, Mark Webber, the leader of the X-Men. These guys got mouths, these guys got size, these guys are the leaders of their respective teams. These are 2 young men who are taking control of the World Skating League, mind, body, and soul. But right there, Craig Fisher, I tell you what, he's trying to remodel the World Skating League. We got all the girls changing their clothing, and Craig Fisher, hey buddy, I gotta work here. Stay off my furniture. Unbelievable.
We didn't need that stuff anyway, did we?
But you gotta give the credit to Jason McDaniel with the little dipty too. Since Craig Fisher, it wasn't his fault, but I'm making him pay for it.
This game is still tied at 7. Boy, it's just appropriate that the Wild West shootout, the first game would be Nevada against the Texas Rustlers, and they're playing it like a Wild West shootout. Oh, man, let's hope he's not hurt. That was Brian Gallagher. He went off the track in a hurry.
Well, 2 more X-Men and G-Force going after each other. Brian Gallagher going after it with Micah Martin. Of course, we all know he's the brother of Sam Martin, infamous for their battles, and Micah Martin is exploding on the scene here, Rory.
Micah Martin's as slick as they come. He just picked up a point, and now here he comes to the back of the pack. Look at that move. He's leaving Rustlers in his wake everywhere. Micah Martin has every move in the Rollerjam book. He may rewrite the book before it's all over.
And the whole crowd loves it. Of course, Micah Martin, we know about the green hair. We know about his infamous battles with his brother. Sometimes we forget that he is just downright a great skater. But if we forgot, we saw it there. He's tall, he's lanky, unlike his brother, who's a little more compact. Brian Gallagher throws an air ball. He goes low, he goes high. Doesn't matter how he does it, he just gets the job done, scores the points.
He gets the points, he gets 3 points, and the Nevada Hot Dice lead it now 10-7 as we near the end of the first half in this first game of the Wild West Shootout that the Texas Rustlers and the Nevada Hot Dice are trying to get an upper hand on. As a matter of fact, Mark Webber of the Hot Dice is guaranteed to win this thing. Right now they have the advantage 10-7. Now look out right here. A couple of skaters down, another one off the track. Take a look. Take a look at the back of the pack where the Rustlers are trying to get some points here, but the Nevada Hot Dice have nothing to do with it.
Oh my God, Rory, that's a skyscraper. Mark Webber takes down number 45, Craig Fisher. He says he doesn't want to be compared to Sean Atkinson. Sean Atkinson wants to be compared to him. He's guaranteed victory, and with moves like that, he's going to inflict a lot of pain and get himself closer to that victory here in the Wild West Shootout. Mark Webber, a big exclamation point here. The X-Men have arrived, and Mark Webber plays to the hometown crowd.
Mark Webber says, don't compare me to the Ack Attack, but he's taking his moves. Here's another one.
And there you see a little bit of slow-mo. Hey, Craig Fisher. I'm Mark Webber. How you doing? I ain't Sean Atkinson. I ain't Mark D'Amato. I'm Mark Webber. Hear me roar, brother.
The timing had to be perfect on that move, and Mark Webber celebrates. It's halftime, and it's 10-9 Hot Dice. We'll be back in a minute. We're back in Las Vegas. I'm Rory Marcus. Lee Hawk Rehrman is here, and guess who else is here? The general manager of the World Skating League, Kenneth Logue. Sir, you obviously have something in mind for this league, but you have a suspended skater in Mark D'Amato who's out there playing. You have uniforms getting more and more skimpy all the time. What exactly is your vision for this league?
Well, these problems are going to go away. I promise you that. We're going to take care of them in no time flat. And I do have a vision for this league. As I've said before, it is my mission to drive out the decadent forces that are trying to destroy this game. We're going to bring this game back to the golden era of roller derby in the 50s and the 60s that my father enjoyed, that I enjoyed, that I grew up with.
Well, now, Mr. Logue, I don't mean to be any disrespect, but many would argue that the success of the World Skating League is because of the sex, these uniforms, the crowd love it. Personally, we as broadcasters have to say that we gotta like it. How are you going to get this stuff out of the league, and why?
You know, I walk around the houses when we do these games, and I'm looking out there, and there are a lot, you know, I'll grant you, there are a lot of people out there yelling and hooting and hollering for the half-naked women and for all the excessive violence. However, when I look in that house, for everybody that's screaming, there are 3 faces that are sitting there wishing that they could see something decent. People with their families, with their kids, who maybe are never going to come again.
Mr. Logue, the best we can do with you right now is just say, good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right, now, let's get the other side of the coin. Mark D'Amato, he's down there with Broadway Danny Wolf. Danny?
Okay, I'm here with Mark D'Amato, leader of SUP, the Skaters United Coalition.
Right.
And Mark, earlier in the telecast, Kenneth Logue III has said the inside scoop is the judge is going to rule against your union in the court.
That is not possible. My attorney, Schaefer, has handled it.
Well, all I know is for SUC to be an official representative for the league skaters, this is what the judge is going to say. You are going to have a league-wide election for or against your union. This is what the judge is going to say. But only if you get a majority of the team captains in the World Skating League to vote on your side. And right now it looks like it's 3-3.
You know what? I control these 3 teams, and that's all I need. I now am the dominant figure in this league.
Well, it looks like you're going to have to get Sean Atkinson, Bill Barker, and Little Richard Brown, and I don't think that's going to happen. They're not going to vote on your side.
I got to go. I got a phone call.
Yeah, you better call Schaefer. Back to you, Rory and Hawk.
Well, I guess he's looking for a phone booth. There he goes.
Well, he's one guy that doesn't have an S on his chest, but somebody who does. Right there, number 37, Mark Webber. That was an S because it was the Superman. Another S, the skyscraper. He models himself after Sean Atkinson. He even has some of Sean Atkinson's mouth going. But right here, what a devastating blow this is going to be to the Texas Rustlers. We're being told by our medical people that Talisa Miller, even though she came back for a couple of jams, Rory, her ability to return is a big question mark. But Brian Gamble, the G-Force captain, he says, hey, Mark Webber, I can mix it up with you too, my friend.
We'll find out more about the G-Force now from Julie Lynch.
Rory, it looks like the Rustlers lineup with the G-Force at its core is packed with power. If you remember last season, Texas was the laughingstock of the league. But with these new big additions, it looks like Texas might have the last laugh. Meet the Rustlers' lead jammer, Brian Gallagher.
Last year was last year. This year, we're going to kick some butt.
Now say hello to their big blocker, ex-Sundog David Gatorboy Gleddy.
Down here in Texas, we have a bunch of good old boys. We're itching to go skater hunting.
And don't forget the Rustlers enforcer, ex-New York enforcer, Brian Gamble.
Yeah, we've been working real hard. I'm showing these guys how to fight. Some of them are tough already, so they're ready to bang.
Together, this motley crew forms the G-Force. And these guys are determined to gain Texas some respect. Gallagher's skating classes are intense, combining speed, agility, and tenacity. Gamble's martial law has the team committed to a rigorous martial arts training program. And combined with Gleddy's outlandish and fearless attitude, the G-Force are striving to make the Rustlers more invincible.
Thanks, Julie, and we'll see more of the G-Force when we get ready to play the fourth and final period. But first, we have the women on the track for period number 3. Kim Hart leading the Showgirls in the Nevada Hot Dice against Lindsey Francis and the Texas Rustlers. It's breezy on that little walkway there. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back to Las Vegas. We're ready to go into period number 3 as the women are on the track in a close game. The Hot Dice lead it by 1, 10-9. The Texas Rustlers, we saw them win a game here not too long ago, and they're trying to steal this one from the Hot Dice. But right now, Kim, the Heartbreaker Hart, is out there for the Hot Dice. And Lindsey Francis gets out for the Texas Rustlers. These are 2 stars in this league in their own right. Who will get the best of it this time?
Well, they're calling her the Golden Girl, are they, of Lindsey Francis? She was a little bit quiet in the first half for her. Let's see if she can get on track in the third period. It was all Showgirls early. Maybe it'll be all Golden Girl late.
I still contend the Golden Girl is Joni Weston. I'll probably have to agree with Mr. Logue on that point. Not that we're in agreement on a lot of points. And now Lindsey Francis is trying to get by not a Golden Girl, but a Showgirl. And so far, not much luck for either Lindsey Francis or Kim Hart in the scoring department. 7 seconds left on the jam, this first jam of the second half. Down they go, both of them. And oh, Lindsey Francis takes a hard fall.
Well, the frustration continues for the Golden Girl, Lindsey Francis, as the Showgirls. There's Shay Brown. You saw Kim Hart send the Golden Girl down. There's a good look at those golden locks of the Golden Girl. I tell you what, she's having a rough go of it, and that roughness continues as Don Lastra steps in between Kim Hart of the Showgirls and the Golden Girl. A lot of girl monikers going on out here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. And the Wild West Showdown continues and heats up here in the desert of Las Vegas. 11-9. The Hot Dice did get 1 point out of that jam. 1 point for the Hot Dice in that last jam. And the Texas Rustlers are giving them all they can handle here tonight as Belinda Morgan gets out for the Rustlers against Laura Weintraub for the Hot Dice. It's one Showgirl after another here in Nevada, and that includes this team. Laura Weintraub now comes up to the back of the pack, and neither jammer has given an inch in this instance. One of them's going by on top, the other one's trying to get by on the bottom of the track. 13 seconds left in this jam. Laura Weintraub tries it again. She made a nice little move there to pick up 1. As up against the rail hard as Laura Weintraub gets the points.
I have 3 Texas.
3 Rustler points and 1 Hot Dice point. That's going to tie this game up again at 12.
Well, and Laura Weintraub, one of the Showgirls that really has to step up this year. Blonde hair and all, I don't care what she's got on, Rory. She has to step up this year. They're asking her to, and she better do it.
The men in a strategy session, they know that It's going to come down to them in the fourth and final period. That's not too far away, but right now, the women trying to set an advantage for one team or the other as we're tied up at 12 right now. And there goes Lindsey Francis again with another showgirl, Kim Hart, after her. These two continue their personal battle.
Well, we saw this a couple of jams ago. Kim Hart got a better of it. Lindsey Francis had a tough time all day. Let's see if she can fare better here on this one, Rory.
Hey, Lindsey Francis is going to be a superstar in this league, mark my words. Let's see what happens on this jam as the Texas Rustlers and Lindsey Francis, a much improved team because of her. Kim Hart, not too bad either, but right now she's up against the rail and Lindsey Francis is going in to try and get some points for her Rustlers. 7 seconds left in the jam and a takedown gets the points for the Rustlers.
And they call Renee Blevins, number 45, the Spartan plug. You see a little celebrating going on with Carrie Johnston and Lindsey Francis. That's Tink is Talisa, and that's the Golden Girl is Lindsey Francis. But you got to give a little credit to the Spartan plug, Renee Blevins. But the Golden Girl seems to have emerged here late. She was quiet in the first period, Rory. She seems to have got herself together here late in the game. But right here, 45, Renee Blevins, haven't talked a lot about her. She looks like Paul Bunyan chopping down trees. And the Golden Girl, followed by Kim Hart, cuts through, scores the points. Great job by the Texas Rustler women.
You're not kidding, and I'll tell her that you said she looks like Paul Bunyan. 15-12 is the score. And now it's the Texas Rustlers who have the lead. And Laura Weintraub gets out there for the Nevada Hot Dice, trying to regain the lead for her team. She's against Laura Heiser. They're both terrific skaters. Laura Weintraub on the inside of the showgirl outfit that Kenneth Lowe promised we won't see any more of, and I don't wonder when he means. After Christmas sometime, maybe.
Well, Laura Heiser, a much faster skater than is Laura Weintraub, but she hasn't seemed to be able to break away from Laura Weintraub.
And the speed skater, Laura Heiser, gets there first and picks up the point as the Hot Dice run into each other. Laura Weintraub is down on the track.
And you see how much I know. Here I am talking really quick about Laura Heiser not pulling away. Just about that time, she does a little dicing, a little slicing. Laura Heiser, we know about the speed, but right there we saw a little bait and switch as number 39, that's Andrea Franklin, goes into one of the showgirls, Laura Weintraub. Great job, Laura Heiser.
16-12, now the Texas Rustlers have grabbed the lead from the Hot Dice in this first game of the Wild West Shootout. There's time for one more jam in this third period. Then the men will come out and we'll see who can finally win this game in the fourth and final period. But right now the women have one jam left. And the Hot Dice, Mindy Smith gets out on top and then slips and falls. And there goes Melinda Morgan of the Texas Rustlers, and the same fate awaits her. She slips down and then leaves Mindy Smith out on the jam all by herself for the Nevada Hot Dice.
And noticeably absent is Talisa Miller, Tink Miller. She looks like she might be hurt, and her blocking ability down here late is really going to hurt the Rustlers if she's not in there. But Mindy Smith, you see the speed of her as she comes around to the back of the pack.
Mindy Smith is the jammer for the Hot Dice, and the Rustlers are trying to pull away. It's not going to work, I don't believe, because she's already got one. She gets two. She's getting an assist from the showgirls. She's got another one, and she waves bye-bye on the way by. Scoring big points for the Nevada Hot Dice. They got three. 3 big points for the Dice, and the Rustlers now lead it by a 16-15 score as Shay Brown grabs the locks of Lindsey Francis.
Well, these two are unified in their dislike of Denise Loden, but right now they have a lot of dislike for each other, it looks like.
The fourth and final period coming up. The men will decide it. Brian Gamble, the G-Force, and the Texas Rustlers trying to pull it out against the Nevada Hot Dice. They'll be led by Mark Weber in this fourth period. Stay with us. A lot more Rollerjam coming up. Welcome back to Las Vegas. We'll decide the game right now. Fourth period, fourth and final skating period now, and it's a 16-15 game. The Texas Rustlers, maybe they'll use the injury to Tink Miller as inspiration to try and pull this one out against the home team, the Nevada Hot Dice, here in the Wild West Shootout. The first jam of the final period.
And let's see if Mark Weber, he promised that these Nevada Hot Dice would bring home this cup,
And right out of the chute, Jason McDaniel sends Brian Gallagher over the rail. They're on their way, Rory, if that's any indication.
Jason McDaniel comes up to the back of the pack, and that's where big David Gletty hangs out. And Gletty says, no, you're not going to get by on the outside. I've got too much for you here. I'm the captain of this Texas Rustlers team. And so far, Gletty has done a good job keeping McDaniel from scoring here in this first jam of the final period. 15 seconds left in the jam, and now Gletty's going to have to contend with big Mark Webber, and he can't do it. Webber takes him out. That enables McDaniel to score the point. Wow!
And that's an X-Men special. Jason McDaniel, Mark Webber. We've been calling them the Young Turks here in the World Skating League. I don't think they're young anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And as they celebrate with the third of the trifecta, Micah Martin, I tell you what, the X-Men are here. Mark Webber predicted it, and I tell you, David Gletty, G-Force, Mark Webber's got him in a headlock. Jason McDaniel just shows the absolute utter perfection of how wonderful of a skater he is. Unbelievable. These guys have been celebrating before. This crowd is going berserk.
What incredible agility to stand up on that rail in those inline skates and wait like that. Perfectly timed move. Well, this fourth period in the Wild West Shootout has been something already, and we've only had one jam. Now Micah Martin's out there for the hot dice, and he's against the Rustlers' Craig Fisher. This one's going to go right down to the wire.
Well, Micah Martin, the third person in that X-Men triumvirate, he saw Mark Webber and Jason McDaniel get it done last time. He says, hey, let me play a little bit.
Micah Martin from Panama City, Florida, is a great skater, but he gets taken out by his teammate, Mark Webber. And they look at each other, and what can you do? Meanwhile, points being racked up by the Texas Rustlers.
Well, and Craig Fisher's not even part of the G-Force, but you saw a little force as he did a cartwheel. He was up and over. I tell you, with the antics of Jason McDaniel last year for the hot dice and Craig Fisher, this is becoming an acrobat show.
Let's take a look at that again, because this is an incredible flip, running into their own teammate.
And the utter sheer athletic ability of these guys. Mark Webber. These guys sometimes shock themselves, and Mark Webber, he's a fantastic athlete. The look on his face, and Craig Fisher, what are you doing? He's looking like a little bit of an Olympic gymnast, but these guys always get it done, always have something to say, but you can't deny that they are fantastic athletes.
And here we go with another jam as they try to emerge from that pack, the black helmeted jammers. And now all four of them are out. 4 jammers, 2 each side on every jam.
And this is something we don't see very often. We see 4 jammers out. Fireworks happen when you got 4 bodies. As you look at Micah Martin out there, he's emerged. Hot on his heel are Jason McDaniel. These 2 X-Men are the two of the fastest skaters in the World Skating League, Rory.
And they have a chance right now to put the hot dice in front if they can. Back there is Brian Gamble, one of the G-Force. And look at the moves of the Nevada hot dice. But so far, the G-Force holding fort, and they don't let it by. Down goes Gamble, down go both jammers, and Micah Martin calls off the jam. Boy, these X-Men are something else.
Well, and they're celebrating a lot. They better concentrate on what's going on, or they're going to become a little bit of a cartoon. But you got to give them credit. They're doing a great job. Brian Gamble tried to hold them off, but it takes a lot more than one man to hold off the likes of Jason McDaniel and Micah Martin. Poor Brian Gamble just unfortunately had brought a knife to a gunfight.
We have a 1-point game, and we're back to Las Vegas, the MGM Grand Garden Arena, with Rollerjam in just a minute. Back in the Wild West Shootout. This game coming down to the wire once again. 18-17 is the score. The Texas Rustlers have the lead at the moment. And there's a nice move by Craig Fisher to try and get out of that pack for the Texas Rustlers. And he gets out. But out after him is Micah Martin of the Hot Dice. The Hot Dice playing in front of their Las Vegas home crowd here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Micah Martin with a hip check sends Fisher into the rail.
Well, last time these two went at it a couple of jams ago, we saw acrobatics from Craig
Fisher. Micah Martin doesn't want to be outdone and lowers the boom on him, Rory.
Now Micah Martin comes up against the double block of the Texas Rustlers, but he's going to get a little assist back there from Mark Webber. And let's see if Webber can help him score some points. He sends one Rustler into the boards. Oh, beautiful move. Micah Martin goes underneath off the whip by Webber. And Martin takes his helmet off and says, look at this green hair I've got. I got the points, though.
And that was all Mark Webber. He guaranteed victory. He also says he doesn't model himself after Sean Atkinson, and every time he does something, it's a Sean Atkinson creation.
Micah Martin slips underneath the double block off the whip by Webber. That's a terrific skating move.
Well, and you saw the sheer power of Mark Webber. There's not many men. I mean, Micah Martin is not a light guy, but Mark Webber single-handedly propelled him under two of the G-Force. Great job, Mark Webber. Great job, Micah Martin. Great job, X-Men.
Well, Webber guaranteed victory, and let's see if he can live up to it. They have a one-point lead as we come down to the wire. The Nevada Hot Dice and the Texas Rustlers.
Well, and out on the jam is Jason McDaniel and Brian Gallagher. These two guys got speed, what we need. Oh, that's a skyscraper he pirated from Sean Atkinson. He thought he was going to hit Brian Gallagher, and he takes out Jason McDaniel.
He may have stolen it from Atkinson, but now he took out his own man, and he cost his team the game as the Rustlers and Brian Gallagher, the G-Force, win it to start the Wild West Shootout. And look at Webber. He is beside himself with agony. They're arguing amongst themselves. The Hot Dice, man, they've lost the game.
Well, you said they're arguing amongst themselves. This could almost get violent. Micah Martin is going after Mark Webber. Jason McDaniel, some of the others are following around. These guys are in disarray, Rory. They've been embarrassed.
I'll say they have, and you have to wonder as the Rustlers celebrate whether or not the Nevada Hot Dice are just falling apart. Mark Webber guaranteed victory and almost single-handedly delivered defeat in the game's final play. Broadway Danny Wolf is with, surprisingly, the losers.
What a start to the Wild West Shootout Tournament. Big surprise, the Texas Rustlers are for real indeed. And Mark Webber and Jason McDaniel still argue.
What are you trying to do? This is our game. This is our tournament. You're trying to play like Ack out there, man. Just run our plays. Play our game, all right? And we can do this. We're one loss away from losing the tournament. This is our tournament, Webber.
Yeah, Mark Webber, you
got in the way. You need to stay out of the way. 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 That's all I got.
Well, Mark, the team seems to think you're acting too much like Sean Atkinson out there. You guaranteed you guys were going to win this tournament constantly. You're now one loss away from elimination.
Look, I'm not acting like Sean Atkinson. Sean Atkinson is acting like me. Okay? You hear me?
Yes.
I'm just making sure. And I still guarantee victory in this tournament. No matter what, I guarantee victory.
Mark Webber is still feeling his oats, obviously, but the rest of the team not quite so sure. And what they'd like is for him to play like Mark Webber and not worry about trying to steal the moves of Sean Atkinson.
Well, Mark Webber's an athlete. I don't think he's a fortune teller, but one thing is for certain is we're going to have plenty more of this. Will the Hot Dice fall apart? Will Kenneth Logue ultimately get control of the league? Will Mark D'Amato ultimately get control of the league? Who knows?
If he does, he's going to need the support of one of these three players, either Bill Barker, Sean Atkinson, or little Richard Brown. It's a question mark as to whether or not he'll be able to get those guys to come over to his side. Well, we've had a terrific game. The Nevada Hot Dice are probably in the locker room right now arguing amongst themselves while the Texas Rustlers celebrate victory. We're happy you are here with us tonight as the Rustlers win it 23-19, and Tink Miller shakes her head and says, I hope I can come back soon. We'll see. For all of us here in Las Vegas, for Broadway Danny Wolf, for Julie Lynch, for Lee Hawk Rearman, I'm Rory Marcus. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Guests of the WSL Rollerjam stay at the MGM Grand Casino, the city of entertainment.